Mexico, a land of color, contrast, and culture, stretching from the deserts of the north to the lush jungles of the south. This country is a living mosaic shaped by thousands of years of history. From ancient pyramids rising through dense forests to quiet colonial towns glowing in the afternoon sun, every corner of Mexico holds a story waiting to be told. This is a place where time bends. In the bustling streets of Mexico City, centuries blend. Spanish cathedrals rise near Aztec ruins. The past is never far. Indigenous traditions still thrive in local markets, where languages older than Spanish echo through narrow alleyways. Bordered by the Pacific Ocean to the west and the Gulf of Mexico to the east, the country's coastlines stretch over 5,000 miles. Here, the sea meets sand, jungle meets beach, and adventure meets peace. Mexico is home to over 120 million people. Its cities pulse with life, but so do its quiet villages. Music, food, dance, and faith shape daily life. From mariachi bands filling city plazas to the aroma of handmade tortillas cooked over fire, the spirit of Mexico is everywhere, and it is impossible to ignore. Tulum rests on the edge of the Caribbean Sea, where turquoise waves kiss white sand shores and ancient stone meets the open sky. It is one of the last cities built and inhabited by the Maya, a civilization known for its deep understanding of astronomy, mathematics, and the spirit of the earth. Perched high on limestone cliffs, the ruins of Tulum overlook the sea like silent guardians. Their walls once protected a bustling port city, where trade routes flowed with salt, jade, obsidian, and cacao. These stone structures, weathered by sun and storm, still whisper of a time when priests watched the stars and people honored the gods with rituals and fire. Unlike many ancient cities buried deep in the jungle, Tulum faces the sea. Its temples and watchtowers rise with dramatic views of the horizon. The Temple of the Wind, shaped to honor coastal breezes, still stands tall. So does the Temple of the Frescoes, its faded murals holding traces of sacred stories. But Tulum is not just a memory of the past. Life blooms all around it. Just beyond the ruins, the beaches stretch for miles, soft, warm, and untouched in places. Deep in the Yucatan Peninsula stands one of the most iconic landmarks of the ancient world, Chichén Itzá. For over 1,000 years, this city was a center of power, science, and sacred ritual for the Maya civilization. At the heart of Chichén Itzá rises El Castillo, also known as the Temple of Kukulkan. This pyramid is not just a structure, it is a calendar carved in stone. Each of its 4 sides has 91 steps. When added together with the top platform, the total equals 365, the number of days in the solar year. During the spring and autumn equinox, sunlight creates the illusion of a serpent sliding down the pyramid's edge, a perfect alignment of architecture and astronomy. The city itself was a melting pot of cultures, Maya, Toltec, and others, blending their art, beliefs, and power into every wall and plaza. Carvings of jaguars, serpents, and eagles still guard the stones. Symbols of war and ceremony mark the path between temples. To the north lies the Great Ball Court, the largest in Mesoamerica. Here, players competed in sacred games where the stakes were not only honor, but sometimes life itself. Hidden deep within the lush rainforest of Chiapas, the ruins of Palenque rise from the jungle floor like a vision from another world. Mist drapes the ancient stones, birds call from the canopy, and time seems to slow in the shadow of the trees. Palenque was not the largest of the Maya cities, but it was one of the most refined. Known for its intricate architecture, detailed carvings, and powerful dynasties, it was once a thriving center of art, science, and sacred ritual. At its heart stands the Temple of the Inscriptions. Here carved steps lead to a hidden tomb, the resting place of the great king Pakal. Buried with a jade mask and treasures of great beauty, Pakal ruled for nearly 70 years. His legacy is etched in stone, telling tales of his reign, his ancestors, and his connection to the divine. Around the temple, graceful palaces and observatories rise from moss-covered ground. The palace complex stretches with open courtyards, towering stairways, and a rare four-story tower, likely used for astronomical observations or rituals. Carvings throughout the site show gods, rulers, and symbols of the cosmos. High in the mountains of Oaxaca, where winding roads give way to wide-open skies, lies a natural wonder sculpted by water and time, Hierve el Agua. Its name means the water boils, but what flows here is not hot. It is ancient, cold, and filled with minerals that have shaped stone into art. From a distance, the landscape seems impossible. White rock cascades down the cliffs like frozen waterfalls. These are not carved by ice, but by centuries of mineral-rich water spilling slowly over the edge. Drop by drop, the water left behind layers of calcium and other elements, creating stone formations that mimic the motion of falling water. There are only a few places on Earth where such formations exist. This is one of them, rare, quiet, and sacred. At the top of the cliff, Natural pools hold clear emerald-colored water. They are shallow, warm in the sun, and calm as mirrors. From their edge, the land opens into a vast valley. Mountains roll into the distance. The wind carries silence. In the heart of the Yucatan Peninsula, hidden within the jungle near ancient ruins, lies a natural sanctuary carved deep into the earth, Cenote Ik Kil. A sacred pool, perfectly round and framed by limestone walls draped in vines and roots that stretch like fingers toward the water below. Formed by the collapse of limestone bedrock, cenotes like this one reveal underground rivers that flow beneath the surface of the land. To the Maya, these waters were more than natural wonders. They were portals to the spiritual world, entrances to Xibalba, the underworld. Ik Kil is among the most breathtaking. Its walls descend over 80 feet from the surface to the water's edge, creating a natural amphitheater where sound echoes and light dances. The water is cool, deep, and so clear it reflects the sky like glass. Long vines hang from the surface, swaying gently in the air, while small waterfalls trickle down the stone, constant, soft, eternal. Sunlight pours in from the circular opening above, creating shifting patterns on the water's surface. Birds nest along the high stone walls. Their wings flutter in and out of the light. The air is fresh with moisture, filled with the scent of earth and water. Carved by the forces of nature over millions of years, Sumidero Canyon stands as a towering monument to time and water. Located in the southern state of Chiapas, this vast gorge rises with vertical walls that stretch over 3,000 feet into the sky. Below, the Grijalva River winds like a silver ribbon through the shadows of stone. The canyon is a place of awe, where silence speaks louder than words, and the scale of the cliffs makes even the strongest voice seem small. The rock faces are steep, scarred by wind and rain, and covered in patches of dense green that cling to the vertical walls. In some places, the cliffs seem to touch the clouds. The best way to experience Sumidero is from the water. A slow journey by boat reveals the hidden shapes of the canyon, caves carved by centuries of erosion, waterfalls pouring down from the heights, and narrow inlets where the jungle presses close. Along the way, spider monkeys swing through trees, crocodiles bask on sun-warmed rocks, and birds of every color soar above the river's curve. One of the most striking sights is the Tree of Christmas, a waterfall so tall and delicate that mineral deposits have shaped it into layers of green and white, resembling the branches of a giant tree covered in moss and mist. In the quiet southeastern corner of the Yucatan Peninsula lies a body of water so serene, so vivid, it is often called the Lagoon of Seven Colors. This is Bacalar, a freshwater lagoon where shades of blue shift like silk under the sun. Stretching for over 25 miles, Bacalar is not a traditional lake, but a long, narrow lagoon fed by underground cenotes. Its waters range from pale turquoise to deep sapphire, changing with the light, the depth, and the movement of the sky above. The effect is hypnotic, a painter's dream brought to life by nature. Along its shores, mangroves sway, reeds whisper in the breeze, and wooden docks stretch over still water. Small boats drift quietly, leaving only ripples. There are no crashing waves here, no crowds, just a vast calm that invites reflection, rest, and wonder. One of Bacalar's most unique features lies beneath its surface, ancient living stones called stromatolites. These rock-like formations are created by some of the oldest life forms on Earth. They release oxygen and keep the water clear, making Bacalar not only beautiful, but ecologically rare. Just outside of today's Mexico City lies a place built long before the Aztecs, long before the Spanish, long before modern memory, a city once known simply as the place where the gods were born. This is Teotihuacán. Sprawling across the valley floor, Teotihuacán was once home to over 100,000 people. It was one of the largest cities in the ancient world, filled with wide avenues, temples, homes, and pyramids that still rise with silent power. The heart of the city is the Avenue of the Dead, a broad, straight path that stretches for miles, lined by ancient platforms and ceremonial buildings. Walking here is like stepping into another world, one designed with purpose, order, and deep cosmic meaning. To the north stands the Pyramid of the Moon, aligned with the surrounding mountains, watching over the city like a guardian. To the south rises the Pyramid of the Sun, one of the largest pyramids on Earth. Climbing its steep steps, you feel the weight of centuries, the breath of wind, the pull of the sky. It was built without metal tools, without wheels, yet it stands strong, balanced with the stars. Alongside these great monuments is the Temple of the Feathered Serpent, where intricate stone carvings of serpents and shells still cover the walls. Off the northern coast of the Yucatan Peninsula, where the Gulf of Mexico meets the Caribbean Sea, there is a narrow island untouched by hurry and held gently by the tides. This is Isla Holbox, a place where roads are made of sand, cars are rare, and the rhythm of life follows the sun and sea. Stretching just over 25 miles in length, the island is a slender strip of land separated from the mainland by a shallow lagoon filled with flamingos, pelicans, and crocodiles. The name Holbox means black hole in the Maya language, a reference to the dark, rich waters of the lagoon, but the island itself is full of light. The beaches here are soft and wide, with powdery white sand that glows in the morning sun. The sea is shallow and calm, painted in shifting hues of jade and turquoise. Sandbars stretch far into the distance, making it possible to walk across the water when the tide is low. What sets Holbox apart is its quiet. There are no high-rise hotels, no paved highways, no loud crowds. Instead, bicycles roll through sandy streets, hammocks swing between palm trees, and the sound of waves becomes a constant companion. Just across the turquoise waters from Cancun lies a small island that moves at a softer pace, Isla Mujeres. Only 5 miles long and less than half a mile wide, this island may be small in size, but it holds a world of beauty, history, and quiet charm. The name means Island of Women, given by Spanish explorers who found statues of goddesses left behind by the Maya. For centuries, this was a sacred place, a site dedicated to Ixchel, the Maya goddess of the moon, fertility, and the sea. Even today, the energy of the island feels gentle and feminine. Soft winds carry the scent of salt, narrow streets wind through colorful houses. Golf carts hum quietly past murals that celebrate the island's deep cultural roots. To the south lies Punta Sur, the island's highest point. Here, a cliff rises over the Caribbean Sea, and the sun is said to rise first on this spot before anywhere else in Mexico. The waves crash far below, while stone paths lead to the ruins of a small temple to Ixchel, still standing, still watching the sea. The waters around Isla Mujeres are warm and clear, perfect for swimming, snorkeling, and simply floating. In the highlands of central Mexico, where cobblestone streets rise and fall with the land, there is a town that feels like it was painted by memory and warmed by sunlight. This is San Miguel de Allende, a place where art, history, and spirit meet beneath a sky that seems to glow year-round. San Miguel is not a large city, but every corner holds beauty. Narrow alleys curve between buildings painted in deep reds, ochres, and golds. Iron balconies overflow with flowers, doors are carved by hand, the streets echo with music, footsteps, and the soft rhythm of daily life. At the heart of the town stands the Parroquia, a pink neo-Gothic church that rises like a dream above the main plaza. Its spires are delicate and tall, unlike any other church in Mexico, shaped by a local stonecutter with only postcards from Europe as his guide. It is not ancient, but it feels eternal. Around the church, the town unfolds like a storybook. Art galleries, markets, and quiet cafes fill the colonial buildings. San Miguel is known for its artists, and the spirit of creation fills the air in the brushstroke of a mural, the curve of a sculpture, the melody of a guitar drifting from a doorway. High above the valleys of central Mexico, where the air thins and the wind speaks in silence, stands Nevado de Toluca, an ancient volcano shaped by fire, snow, and time. Also known as Xcaret, this great mountain watches over the land with quiet strength. Its summit reaches over 15,000 feet into the sky, making it one of the highest peaks in the country. But unlike many volcanoes, its crater lies wide and open, welcoming those who make the journey upward. Within this vast caldera, two emerald lakes rest in stillness, the Lake of the Sun and the Lake of the Moon. These sacred waters reflect the sky like polished mirrors, cradled by rugged slopes and guarded by centuries of myth. Long before modern travelers arrived, this mountain was revered by the Matlatzinca and Mexica peoples. They climbed its paths, not for conquest or sport, but for ceremony, to honor the gods, to connect with the elements, to ask for rain and renewal. The path to the crater winds through alpine forest, where pine trees stretch tall and the scent of resin fills the air. As you rise, the landscape shifts. Trees give way to open tundra, where grasses bend to the wind and stones carry the memory of fire. Nestled in the valley between snow-capped volcanoes, Puebla's historic center is a city within a city, a carefully preserved world of domes, plazas, and color that tells the story of Mexico through stone, tile, and faith. Founded in the year 1531, Puebla was planned from the beginning. Its streets are laid out in a grid, designed by vision and drawn by hand. But what grew within that grid is a rich blend of European architecture and indigenous artistry, a fusion that gives the city its unmistakable soul. Walking through the center is like moving through a living museum. Over 5,000 buildings are protected here, each with its own character. Facades are dressed in talavera tile, ceramics glazed in deep blue, yellow, and white, arranged in patterns that catch the sunlight and shimmer with history. At the heart of the city stands the Puebla Cathedral. Its twin bell towers rise into the sky, among the tallest in Mexico. Built from dark volcanic stone and crowned with white domes, it is both massive and elegant, a structure that has watched over the plaza for centuries. Just steps away, the Zocalo comes alive. Locals and travelers gather beneath trees and fountains. Street musicians play soft melodies. Vendors sell sweets made from recipes passed down through generations. High above the fertile valley of Oaxaca, where the mountains roll like ancient waves, a forgotten city rests on a flattened hilltop, its stones warmed by centuries of sun and silence. This is Monte Albán, one of the oldest and most important ceremonial centers in Mesoamerica. Built by the Zapotec civilization more than 2,000 years ago, Monte Albán was carved directly into the mountain. people who shaped it moved earth and stone to create wide plazas, temples and terraces that still command the horizon. From here, the entire valley unfolds below like a tapestry, villages, rivers, and fields stretching to the edge of sight. The Great Plaza, at the heart of the site, is a vast open space ringed by pyramids, platforms, and ceremonial buildings. It is quiet now, but once it echoed with rituals, processions, and the voices of rulers and priests. Stone staircases lead to platforms that may have served as observatories. Here, the movement of the sun and stars was tracked with precision. Time itself was measured in shadow and light. Scattered throughout the site are carved stones known as danzantes, human figures etched in motion, some twisted in dance, others in pain. High in the mountains of San Luis Potosí, where the desert fades into stone and clouds touch the earth, there is a town suspended in time. Real de Catorce, once a booming silver town, now a place of silence, spirit, and forgotten dreams. To reach it, you pass through a long, narrow tunnel, carved from solid rock over 1 mile in length, lit only by flickers of sunlight and old lamps. Emerging from the tunnel is like stepping through history. Cobblestone streets wind up steep hills. Crumbling walls stand beside lovingly restored homes. The past lingers in every shadow, in every breath of dry mountain air. In the late 18th century, Real de Catorce was one of the richest mining towns in all of Mexico. Silver poured from the hills. Fortune seekers came from Europe and across the Americas. At its height, tens of thousands lived here, but when the mines went quiet, so did the town. Now, only the wind moves freely, horses graze among ruins. The stone church, still standing proudly in the center, holds on to its dignity. Along the Caribbean coast of the Riviera Maya, where jungle meets ocean and ancient history breathes beneath the earth, there is a place that blends nature, culture, and imagination. This is Xcaret Park, a living tribute to the spirit of Mexico. Set within lush tropical forest, Xcaret is more than an eco-park. It is a carefully crafted landscape where rivers flow underground, where parrots and jaguars share the shade, and where centuries of tradition are honored in song, dance, and stone. At its heart, Xcaret draws from the wisdom of the Maya. The name means small inlet in the Maya language, and the park is built around the ruins of a coastal trading post that once welcomed canoes and ceremonies. The ancient stones still stand, quiet but proud, woven into the paths and gardens of the park. Winding through Xcaret are crystal-clear rivers, some flowing in open air, others hidden beneath the surface. Drifting through these waters reveals the hidden life of the jungle, vines above, silence below, and the slow rhythm of nature all around. Throughout the park, wildlife lives freely in recreated habitats, from butterflies and sea turtles to deer, flamingos and monkeys. In the low hills of the Yucatan Peninsula, surrounded by forest and silence, lies a city of elegance and mystery, Uxmal. Unlike many ancient places, Uxmal does not overwhelm with size. Instead, it invites with beauty. Its architecture is refined, its layout precise, and its spirit still lingers in the warm stone and long shadows. Built by the Maya more than 1,000 years ago, Uxmal rose during a time of great cultural flourishing. Its name is often translated as thrice built, though some believe it means built to be repeated. Both translations speak to its layered history, one of rebuilding, reshaping, and ritual. The most striking structure is the Pyramid of the Magician. Unlike the steep, angular pyramids found elsewhere, this one is oval, soft in form, rising like a smooth hill into the sky. Legend says it was built overnight by a dwarf who became a king, born of magic and fate. Whether myth or memory, the pyramid seems to hold its own secret. Nearby is the Nunnery Quadrangle, not a convent, but a palace complex. Its walls are covered in intricate carvings, serpents, masks, lattices, and symbols of rain and fertility. These are not just decorations. On the northern coast of the Yucatan Peninsula, where the land meets the Gulf and the wind carries the scent of salt, there is a place that seems almost unreal. Las Coloradas, where the waters turn pink and nature reveals a palette not often seen in the wild. The name means the colored ones, and here, color is everything. Wide, shallow lagoons stretch across the horizon, glowing in shades of rose, coral, and soft crimson. The effect is dreamlike, a reflection of the sky mixed with the earth, made vivid by salt and sunlight. The pink hue comes from tiny organisms, algae, plankton, and brine shrimp that thrive in these salty waters. As the water evaporates under the hot sun, the color deepens. It is not paint, not illusion, but a natural chemistry between life and light. Las Coloradas is part of a working salt field. For generations, salt has been harvested here, raked by hand, left to dry, and gathered in gleaming white mounds. The process is slow, shaped by weather and tradition, connecting the land to both industry and ritual. Along the rugged Pacific coast of Oaxaca, where jungle-covered cliffs meet the endless rhythm of the ocean, there is a small coastal town shaped by salt, sun, and simplicity. This is Mazunte, a place where time slows and the sea becomes the center of everything. Mazunte is not loud. It does not rise with grand monuments or crowded streets. Instead, it unfolds gently, thatched roofs blending into green hills, quiet paths lined with palm trees, and waves that arrive and leave like breath. Life here moves to the tide, guided by the moon and warmed by the sun. The town has deep roots in nature. Once known for turtle hunting, Mazunte transformed itself into a sanctuary. Today it is home to the National Mexican Turtle Center, a space dedicated to education, protection, and renewal. Sea turtles, once in danger, now return each year to these shores to lay their eggs under stars and sand. Mazunte is also a place of healing. Natural products, herbal remedies, and peaceful retreats draw those seeking rest and balance. Yoga, meditation, and silence are part of the rhythm here, as natural as the waves or the calls of birds at dawn. On the eastern edge of the Yucatan Peninsula, where the Caribbean Sea meets white sand and soft breeze, lies Playa del Carmen, a coastal town that blends the pulse of modern life with the calm of tropical beauty. Once a small fishing village, Playa del Carmen has grown into one of Mexico's most vibrant seaside destinations. Yet beneath its lively streets and polished storefronts, the soul of the coast still remains, present in the rhythm of the waves and the warm hospitality of its people. The shoreline stretches long and smooth, where the water shines in shades of turquoise and green. Here, mornings begin with soft light and quiet walks along the beach. The ocean is clear and gentle, a place where swimmers, divers, and dreamers all find their way into its embrace. Just beyond the coast lies the Mesoamerican Barrier Reef, the second largest coral reef in the world. Beneath the surface, a different world thrives: bright fish, delicate corals, and sea turtles drifting silently through blue currents. Inland, the town hums with energy. Quinta Avenida, or Fifth Avenue, is its heart. A pedestrian street lined with cafes, shops, and music that rises and fades like the tide. The aroma of street food mixes with sea air. High in the mountains of Chiapas, wrapped in mist and memory, lies a town where cultures meet and time seems to slow. San Cristóbal de las Casas, a colonial city surrounded by forested hills, where cobblestone streets wind between tradition and change. Founded in the early 16th century, San Cristóbal is rich in Spanish architecture. Red-tiled roofs, pastel facades, and carved wooden balconies give the town a gentle elegance. But the true soul of this place comes from deeper roots, from the indigenous cultures that have lived in these lands for centuries. Walk through the town and you will hear many voices: Spanish, Tzotzil, and Celtol, each carrying stories, histories, and songs passed down across generations. In markets filled with color, local women wear hand-woven garments that speak of identity, family, and land. Patterns are not decoration, they are language. The central plaza, with its cathedral and colonnades, is a place of gathering. Children play, elders sit beneath trees, and street performers bring laughter and music to the afternoon air. Around it, churches rise from the hillsides, some painted in brilliant yellow, others standing in quiet stone. In the heart of central Mexico, two great mountains rise from the earth, not just peaks of rock and snow, but guardians of myth and time. Popocatépetl and Iztaccíhuatl, twin volcanoes whose names echo through centuries, carried in legend and stone. Their story is one of love and longing. According to ancient Nahua mythology, Popocatépetl was a warrior, Iztaccíhuatl a princess. She died waiting for his return from battle. And when he came back and found her gone, he knelt beside her and never rose again. The gods, moved by his grief, transformed them into mountains. She's sleeping in the snow, he's standing watch, forever faithful, forever near. From a distance, their silhouettes are unmistakable. Iztaccíhuatl lies stretched across the horizon, her shape like that of a woman in repose, head, chest and feet traced gently in white. Popocatépetl stands beside her, tall and powerful, its peak often smoking, reminding all that it is alive. Popocatépetl, which means smoking mountain in Nahuatl, is one of the most active volcanoes in North America. Its rumble is a quiet warning, a reminder of the Earth's force just beneath the surface. Beneath the limestone surface of the Yucatan Peninsula lies a secret world, a realm of still water, filtered light, and endless stone corridors. Among the many gateways to this underworld, few are as mesmerizing as Cenote Dos Ojos, the two eyes. Hidden within the jungle near Tulum, Dos Ojos is not just one cenote, but two side-by-side pools of crystal water, connected by a vast and intricate cave system. From above, they resemble a pair of eyes looking up through the forest, calm, clear, and ancient. Cenotes like this one are windows into the earth, formed when the roof of a cave collapses, revealing the fresh water that flows quietly below. For the Maya, these places were sacred, entrances to Sebelba, the spiritual underworld where gods dwelled and spirits passed through. In Dos Ojos, the water is impossibly clear, filtered for thousands of years through the porous stone. Sunlight dances through openings in the rock, turning the cenote into a living mirror, deep blue, pale green, and pure silence. Divers from around the world come to explore its underwater caves, where narrow passageways stretch for miles beneath the earth. At the edge of the Baja California Peninsula, where desert cliffs meet the Sea of Cortez, lies a quiet miracle beneath the waves. Cabo Pulmo, a small village guarding one of the most vibrant and vital marine sanctuaries in the world. Here, the land is dry and golden, shaped by wind and time. But just offshore, life explodes in color. Beneath the surface lies a coral reef, the only living hard coral reef in North America. It has survived for centuries and now thrives thanks to a remarkable story of protection and renewal. Once nearly depleted by overfishing, the reef was brought back to life through community effort. Local families who once depended on fishing chose instead to protect the sea. In the early 1990s, Cabo Pulmo became a national marine park, and over the years, nature responded. Today, fish populations have increased more than tenfold. Giant groupers glide through the blue. Sea turtles drift past schools of yellow snapper. Manta rays soar like birds underwater, and even whale sharks visit these waters, the gentle giants of the deep. North of Cancun, where the turquoise waters of the Caribbean meet the deep blues of the Gulf of Mexico, there is an island untouched by time, Isla Contoy, a protected paradise where nature is left to speak for itself. This narrow stretch of land, just a few miles long, is home to something rare: silence. There are no hotels, no crowds, no roads. Only soft sand, clear waters, and the calls of more than 150 species of birds that nest among its palms and mangroves. Isla Contoy is a national park, carefully protected for decades. Only a limited number of visitors are allowed each day. Even then, the footprint is light, the presence respectful. Here, humans are guests, quiet observers in a world ruled by the rhythms of the wild. The island is a sanctuary for birds. Frigate birds with wings like sails soar above the trees. Pelicans glide over the shore, and herons stand still in the shallows. During nesting season, the island hums with life, feathers flight, and the sound of young voices rising from hidden nests. Off the eastern coast of the Yucatan Peninsula, surrounded by the gentle sway of the Caribbean Sea, lies Isla Cozumel, an island shaped by coral, culture, and calm waters. For centuries, Cozumel has been a place of passage. The Maya once crossed from the mainland to honor Ixchel, the goddess of the moon and fertility. Her temples still stand in quiet corners of the island, where stone and jungle meet, and the past lingers gently in the air. Today, Cozumel is known for what lies just beneath its surface. The island is part of the Mesoamerican Reef, the second largest reef system on Earth. Jacques Cousteau brought its wonders to the world in the 1960s, calling it one of the most beautiful diving spots he had ever seen. And it still is. Beneath the waves, coral gardens stretch like living cities. Bright parrotfish nibble at the reef, sea turtles drift with grace. And in the deeper waters, gentle currents carry divers past towering formations, underwater caves, and walls that seem to fall endlessly into blue. But Cozumel is more than the sea. Inland, the island is quiet, a world of dense forest, wild orchids, and soft trails where tortoises and iguanas wander freely.